Governor Mark Dayton today made good on a promise to veto a major tax relief bill because it included a $101 million error.
But as Pat Kessler shows us, the veto set off a flurry of finger pointing and new calls for a special session.
And the House stands adjourned, sine die.
The tax bill came out of a rushed and chaotic end to the legislative session. It included a one-word mistake that cut by $101 million, a fund that pays for the new Vikings stadium. After the veto, a blunt rebuke from the governor.
My message to legislators today is come back and finish your work.
The veto cancels $256 million in tax relief for everything from a new soccer stadium in St. Paul to emergency fire disaster assistance in Medelia to help downtown businesses rebuild. Top lawmakers met briefly with the governor to negotiate a possible special session, and Republican leaders emerged with no progress.
The folks of Minnesota elected this governor, and they elected me to work with him, and I think Minnesotans appreciate the fact that we've been a check and balance on the governor's continued taxing and spending. We will continue to represent that.
Governor Dayton says the session must include money for upgrading security at St. Peter's State Hospital, a new science building at the University of Minnesota, and a transportation funding package that includes light rail transit.
I said I want everything, and they want everything. So, we're that far apart. So the only way I know to resolve those differences is to find common ground somewhere in the middle, and I'm saying I'm willing to do that.
Well, Governor Dayton says he'd like to call a special session by the end of June, but today there did not appear to be any sense of urgency. Lawmakers don't even expect to meet again to talk about the transportation and bonding bills until next Wednesday, a week from now.
So, Pat, what happens to all the programs that go away because the governor vetoed the tax bill?
Well, the governor says the legislature should repass the tax bill in a special session, and he will sign it if the $100 million error is corrected and a tax break is restored to the state high school league. But right now, all of those tax relief measures are in limbo.
What are the chances of them happening?
Well, the farther away you get from this in the legislative session, the tougher it gets because you're getting closer to the election. So these things get less and less likely the farther out into the summer we get.
All right, Pat. Thank you.
You bet.